Where are my lights today? Getting a little high, maybe. Let's take it down. Does that work a little bit better? I think so. Oh, she said, get it together, girl. I know. Can you hear it? Oh, no. It's unlicensed music. That's what it is, I guess. He said, why the washer so loud? Oh, no. Is it really that loud? It's almost done. Not done, not soon enough. It's a vibe. Ugh, we'll see. We'll see what everybody else says.
Oh, shit.
Oh, goodness. Hello.
Hello. I'm so
Miss
sweaty. I'm sorry.
Shalonda Wilkinson, everybody. Hello.
Yes.
How
Hi.
are you?
Great. I am in the back of my car with all this suitcase and stuff. I got Martin
What?
and Reagan up front.
Hello, friends.
Yes. We're just driving back home from Sequoia. But it is hot outside, so.
Yeah, you don't look sweaty. You look dewy.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. I got a, glistening dew going on.
yeah, you look great. I love.
Yeah.
She said, "Where are you going?" We can work on. You don't listen.
Where are you going? I have questions. How are you?
I'm doing really well, thank you. I'm so happy to have you on my program.
Yes, program. I'm here.
Program.
These bags are falling. I can't. Yes,
Oh,
I'm so
she says.
excited.
Okay, well, I don't know. You've been one of my loyal viewers. Hello, so you know what's going on. You know what we're here to do today. Oh, she said, that's what her video said. So hopefully,
I know. I was like,
with
hold
your
up.
driving and being in the car, we don't lose you. But let's get into it so that we can just, like you're doing, drive right through it. I have your beautiful chart. Has your name on it and everything. Can you see me? Because we're losing you already. 1 minute into it.
Oh, no. Oh, no, of course. Well, because we're out of the mountain part, so for the most part.
That's good. Well, let's hope we don't lose you. So let's jump right in so we can get as much as possible. Yeah?
Yes.
Cute. All right. So you know your sun sign, correct? What is your sun sign?
Capricorn.
Capricorn. Do you know anything about how you connect to your Capricorn sun at all, or no?
No, not really, honestly.
Cool. Well, let's get into it, and hopefully you learn a lot. I really liked your chart. It tells me a lot about who you are, stuff that I already kind of know.
Right.
And I feel like it really works for you. So hopefully you have some insight. Maybe you can tell me it doesn't. Maybe it does. I don't know. So let's get into it.
Yes.
So your sun sign. Your sun sign is your outward expression to the world. It is in Capricorn, which you already knew. Capricorn is all about maturity, discipline, and perseverance.
Yes.
So we love that. And you're in the 8th house. 8th house. We love the good 8th house. It's the most confusing house, if not. The 12th might be, but 8th is very confusing. It's about shared finances, mystery, and healing.
Did you say shared finances?
Yeah, shared finance. It's the opposite of the 2nd house. The 2nd house is all about value and practicality, which is like your money, like how I like money. And so on the opposite end, you have shared finances. So like finances with other people, I guess.
Okay.
But it's also mystery and healing. So outward expression of maturity, discipline, and perseverance, focused on shared finances, mystery, and healing. So if you've been watching the past couple episodes, I've been talking a lot about archetypes. So the archetype I found for this one, I'm going to tell you what I ended up with, which is the protege. And then I'll tell you the first iteration of it because it was the only thing I could come up with until I went back to it and I was like, okay, the protege, I like that better. So let me read it to you. Very responsible, will probably manage someone else's money at some point, takes life seriously and likes to discover things beyond face value, transformative in order to achieve goals and become better, destined for greatness, seeks comfort and strength at home and a leadership position at work.
Okay.
So I read a lot to you there. Image and nature. So I also like to compare it to like a natural image. So the Capricorn is the cardinal earth sign, which means the beginning. So think earthquake or volcano, sort of structure, but active structure.
Okay.
Now, the first archetype I had come up with after reading Responsible, Destined for Greatness, Discover Things Beyond Face Value, and sort of this mysterious kind of being was Harry Potter.
Oh, I am Harry Potter. Done. This is it.
But I was like, I can't, that's like too on the nose for you. So tell me what you think about all of this. Anything reign true to you? Yes, no, did you hear me? Can
I
you hear me?
think that
Hold up.
oh no, I can hear you. Yes. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
good. I can. I can. I was asking, does any of this resonate with you at all?
Yes. I mean, so like I am very like career focused and been working on, my attitude of like if you believe that you are like destined for greatness, like that is responsible in that way and focusing in my career and stuff. What are people it's so hard to
Yeah, I love
see
it.
what people are saying as I'm talking.
I
What
know, I
else? You
know.
said
It's
a lot
also
of
hard to hear
things.
what you're saying, but I'm into it. Yeah, so I
It's
really
weird
liked
what?
this for you. I really liked it. It made sense because you do always kind of feel like the responsible one, the sort of she gonna do things. Is kind of how I get. Miss
Thank
Layla.
you.
Let me interpret for all the people who couldn't hear you. You said you'd been putting a lot into work, and you want to you feel responsible, and you like to put your work into your job and be destined for greatness. You want to put in the work so that you can be great. Is that kind of what we get out of that?
Yes. And when I do something, I do it 100%, and I like, I don't half-ass things. So
Full
Yeah,
acid.
love that for you. Well, let's move
thank
on
you.
to your moon sign. So, if your sun sign is your outward expression, your moon sign is your inward reception and reaction. So, I think of it
Okay.
like the sun radiates light, whereas the moon has to reflect the sun's light. So, it's like a passive sort of feeling. It's also how you are when you're comfortable at home. So, it's your inward reception. Your moon is in Leo, which I love.
Okay.
And it's in the third house. And the third house is all about communication and thought. So your moon, inward reception and reaction, Leo is all about self-expression and creativity, is focused on the third house of communication and thought. So my archetype for this one, again, fit you very well, is the thespian.
Yes.
Um, Excellent learners and capable of comprehending a lot of information, may
Mm-hmm.
overthink and worry at times, but
Yeah.
open to new ideas and great at developing plans and discussing projects. Very
Mm-hmm.
intuitive, likes to be seen as articulate and well spoken, and may express themselves artistically in speech, voice acting, or philosophy. Open
Oh.
with their emotions and prefer to talk things out. So, again, this is a fixed fire sign, so it's all about the sun. Yeah, how do you feel about that? What kind of resonated with you? What didn't? What are your thoughts?
Oh my god! Like as you talk, I'm like, oh yes, and then I forget what you say. But like the planning, the
Oh
like,
yeah, open to
I
new ideas and great at developing plans and discussing projects.
yes. So developing plans, that's like my thing. Where there are people, like in our theater company or writers, creators, people who will write and create things, and I'm like, cool. Honestly, I'm not gonna write it. You write it, and then I will help you be like, okay, here's how we put it together to put it on its feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, my service just went up, so I hope
I
I
know
hope it's
you're
better.
so clear right now. I love it.
Love, love. We are stopping at a gas station, so I'm gonna sit in this clearness for a little bit.
Ooh, yes, but don't sweat too much in that car, girl.
I
I
know.
like excellent
No.
learner. I think I think you are. You're very like we were in like all the same classes in high school, and you were always like the smart one, Miss. What was that thing you did, Miss Calculus Bowl or
Calculus
whatever?
Bowl, and I was Ron Griffin's best friend, little super
Yes.
superintendent something. Yeah,
What were you? You were
it
yeah. What
was
was that called?
super sack.
Super Sap. That's what it
That sounds
was.
right. Yes.
How do you feel about may overthink and worry at times? Is that you at all?
Yes. No, I definitely like if it comes to like underthinking and overthinking, I definitely lean more overthinking. Like I don't do as many.
Mm-hmm. Love that service at the gas station. Let's see if we can get her back.
Are you good?
We're
Oh,
back again. We're back.
we're
Kind
back.
of.
Oh, good.
The service
Kinda.
was not as good as it was 2 minutes ago, but we'll take it. Okay, here we go. We're
Okay.
clear.
Okay. We hear. I thought this was a better idea in my head. I was like, this will be fine. It is what it is. But yes, no, I definitely think more about things. I don't like impulse do things as much, for sure.
Right. Awesome. And I
Hmm.
also loved may express themselves artistically in speech, voice acting, or philosophy. That's very interesting for you.
I was like, I don't know about philosophy. I have not jumped into voice acting yet, but girl, everyone's doing it now since we can't film things in person. You know what I mean? So, uh, yeah, but I haven't jumped into it yet. But I'm down for sure. But yes,
Yeah.
all the artistic stuff here for that.
Yeah. And open with their emotions and prefers to talk things out. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I I would say I was talking to another friend of mine about like being a person who like wants to think on things and then come back with an answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think in like a structured like leadership type setting, I'm more the person who's like, I'm gonna go back and think about it and then I'll come back and talk to you. But like in my relationships and stuff, I'm like, let's just talk it out. Like what's
Yes.
going on? You know what I mean? So
And
yeah.
that will actually come up again later. So I think continue to think on that.
Will
Let's move on to
do.
your rising sign. So your rising sign is like your character and how you move through life. So your rising sign is in Gemini. Do you know? I know a lot of people are afraid of Miss Gemini. I've been learning to love a Gemini. I'm going to keep talking while you're loading. So I'm just going to keep going. It's your character and way of life is focused on communication and thought, which is what Gemini is all about. So my archetype for this one is the talker. Sociable and charismatic, may come off as jittery or curious and kind. She left. She said, I'm a rising Gemini. No, gotta go. Oh, we're gonna get on Miss Reagan instead. How about that? She said, Gemini, I gotta go. Did you hack Miss Reagan's phone instead?
Yes, ma'am. So here's the deal. My phone overheated. The drama. The
It's a
drama.
Gemini? Never.
Yeah, the drama that is happening right now.
Okay. Well, then let's be quick. Let's just
Yes,
move on. Huh?
I'm
Let's
here
not
for it.
overheat another phone. So
Yes.
I don't know how much you heard, but I'm going to start again. Rising in Gemini, which is your character and way of life, focused on communication and thought. So this archetype is the talker, who is sociable and charismatic, may come off as jittery or nervous and talk too much when uncomfortable. So like in
Okay.
new situations, you might just kind of keep talking instead of like being comfortable. Curious and kind, may forget to develop strong relationships because they're more interested in developing new connections. So that's not saying that you don't have strong relationships, it's just saying that more often you'll probably like talk to a lot of people and then the ones you've talked to might not develop into strong relationships.
Yes, I see.
Thoughts on that?
Thoughts on that? Definitely yes. Sociable, charismatic, like 100%. I'm very extroverted. Very much like you were at our wedding. Our wedding was not small. Like
No.
we love the people, love hangouts. So I am coming back from a trip. It's a small gathering because COVID is still a thing, but we have our
Okay.
little bubble group. But yeah, very sociable, very, and like with the thing of like Martin and I have many, like we are very thankful to say we have like many friends that we care about, right? And so like you were saying, not saying we don't have deep relationships with people, but I definitely see that like we have lots of friends in our lives and are very thankful for that. So
yeah, and you have to think about your rising sign again. It's how you navigate life. So it's mostly like in new situations, places where you're uncomfortable. Your go-to is to talk, is to communicate with people.
Yes.
That's kind of what...
Yes. Sorry. Switching to the back seat. This better not overheat in the back seat.
Turn the air on. Put a fan on it.
The air is on. I just need to be in the middle so I can feel the air.
Okay, so any more thoughts about your rising sign? I've also been told a lot that you need to dress to your rising sign. So, you know, it's a spring sign, so maybe spring colors will be good for you. Lots of, you know, flouncy, fun, airy things will be good for you.
That's interesting. I don't. That has been a no for me so far, or at least in my head. I love jewel tone, like earth tones. I love earth fall tones. That's what I love wearing. Not to say that I know.
Well, that's very your sun sign too is very earthy, so it's probably where you get that from.
Got it. Yes to that.
Cool. Well, let's move on. Your chart ruler. So your chart ruler is sort of your overall theme of your life. You'll see this come around a lot throughout your entire life. So your chart ruler is Mercury, and your Mercury is in Capricorn. I won't talk too much about it here because it's actually going to be the next thing we're going to talk about. Okay. But your Capricorn, Mercury and Capricorn in the 7th house, the archetype I wrote is the soulmate. So your overall theme of maturity and discipline, which is focused on cooperation and relationships. So you're the voice of reason and dedicated to long relationships and lasting friendship. So you'll kind of see that throughout your whole life, is this sort of, you are the friend that is the voice of reason and the one who I'm going to have for a long time. For a lot of people, maybe some people, I don't know. But that's kind of your theme.
Okay.
So,
yes. Yeah, I would like to say I feel that 100%. Yes.
Good. I mean, it makes sense too with your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising, all kind of makes sense. You're the talker. You like to talk, have a lot of friends. You're very responsible and sort of disciplined and mature. So it makes sense that people look at you like, oh, she's the one that I can depend on. So makes sense.
Yes. Okay.
Any questions before we move on?
No, I'm feeling all of that. Yes to that.
Okay, good. Okay, so now, again, so your next section is the 3 planets that are the inner planets. So your Mercury, your Venus, and your Mars. So these are sort of your inner developed characters. So Mercury is in Capricorn in the 7th house. We just kind of talked about this. The archetype for that is the soulmate. Mercury is responsible for communication and decision-making. So that's influenced by maturity and discipline, which is Capricorn, focused on the 7th house, which is cooperation and relationship. So you're the voice of reason, dedicated to their partner, and will focus on talking things out, which we discussed earlier.
Yes.
May find positives in a relationship and ignore negatives in order to maintain the relationship. So keep that in mind for the future. Not even just like romantic, but just friendship too.
Right.
Interested in building a life with others. May spend too much of their time in their head and analyzing situations, which can cause them to miss opportunities. Opinionated and forceful.
Okay.
Okay, thoughts?
Interesting to like someone still being forceful and opinionated, but also like being in their head too much.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I was saying, I do think I'm someone who like thinks, you know, I will overthink a situation for sure, so I see that happening. But yeah, like once I made a decision, I'm like, yes, I got it.
This is the decision. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's run with this. You know what I mean? So, but I feel that. But like you said, I mean, a lot of this is ringing true and making sense so far. Besides the spring colors.
The spring colors. So again, Mercury is all about communication and decision making too. And so there's something that I like to talk about, which is Mercury in retrograde. We've all heard about this. So when Mercury is in retrograde, it's kind of a really acute and really noticeable about these details for you. So when Mercury's in retrograde, you might be irritated by details and flaws. So like if somebody doesn't catch a detail or is missing details or small flaws in something, it might really, really irritate you.
Yeah.
You might find it difficult to see the bigger picture when making decisions. So you might kind of make decisions on how you feel right then or how things are going right now without seeing like an overall like, well, in the end, this needs to happen, so let's do this. You can be like, well, right now I want to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that sort of be aware of those things when Mercury is in retrograde. Or if you are feeling those things, you can be like, is Mercury in retrograde? It probably is.
It probably,
So.
yeah. When is it exactly? I am very, like, the detail thing, I totally feel that 100%.
Yeah.
I'm a very detail oriented person. And so, especially, I mean, more so in like work situations, but I'm like, y'all, what is happening? And it's like,
Right.
It's like, relax. Not everyone's like that, but I very much, every little detail, I'm like, yes, fix that.
Yeah, so Mercury's in retrograde 3 times this year. It was already done in February, already done in June and July. So the next one will be October 14th to November 3rd. So you have like a month. So you're good.
Okay, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. So let's move on to Venus. Yes. Venus is the love planet, but it's about desire as well, which I just explain as sort of what makes you feel good. So the things that you look for that just make you feel nice and good and happy. So your Venus is in Pisces, which is all about emotion and rebirth. And that is in the 10th house, which is all about legacy and status. So the archetype I wrote for this one is the inheritance. So let me read this to you. Attracted to success and work, great networker. Yeah. Ooh, we are losing her again. She's getting hot. Ooh, you better fan her off. Your little Miss Reagan's phone is getting warm. She's like,
no, the back me on Reagan's phone. Is my phone still warm? Oh no. Oh,
I still see you though. That's good. I'm just gonna keep reading.
Okay, yes, you keep reading.
Great networker. Love their job and will chase clout and success. Love to look successful and attractive to others. Charming and admirable. Forgiving and interested in everyone succeeding together. Likes to give and reward their partners, which I love. So again, this is a hard worker, really interested in showing that she's a hard worker, really interested in looking like somebody who is successful, being around people who are successful, who's very charming and vulnerable, but loves to forgive and interested in everyone succeeding as a team, which I think is very, very applicable to Miss Shae and her sort of business gatherings right now. Likes to give and reward their partners. I found interesting. It kept explaining it like just everywhere. Explained it as you like to like yell lovingly things across the house, or you'll just like randomly show up with flowers for your husband. So that's your Venus in Pisces. Very emotional. A lot about rebirth and just sort of rebranding yourself and rebranding everything that you do. So I don't know. When we get you back, we'll see how you feel about that, Shae. But I'm going to keep going for the content. We'll keep moving on. Your Mars. Mars is all about action and war or friction. But I think of it mostly as action, but it also could be about sort of combating people. And she's back. I feel like we're going to be doing this a lot. Hello. Go live. Oh, she's back. Guess who's back in the house?
She is. Guess who's back in the house? AirPods up and about. I don't know. Girl, yeah. What I heard was yelling loving things across the house.
Yeah, so likes to give and reward their partners. It kept saying things like the kind of person that will like yell across the house, just like loving things, or like will show up randomly with like a gift for their partner. So. Yes. Is that you? Is that something that you do?
Yes, it's more my husband than me, but yes, we are a household like that for sure. I love presenting things to make people I care about happy for sure.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna let you go back and rewatch so you can get the rest of that one so that we can move on.
Yes. Yes.
So again, you're Mars. Mars is all about action and war.
and friction. It's in Cancer. And Cancer is all about emotion and protection. In the second house, which we talked a little bit about earlier, which is values and practicalities. So this archetype I wrote is the miser. This is the person who really works hard for their things and really want. Here, I'll just read what I wrote. Driven
Okay.
by emotion and the desire for safety in their lives, very proud of their possessions, wants to always be working and making money, can be uptight or in their head over planning things, may turn down or miss opportunities if the outcome is unknown or too risky, may be a miser in groups but will freely spend money on themselves. So you're the kind of person that's like, I want to have money. I want to be protected. If I lose a job, I want to know that I have the money to keep going. I want everyone to feel safe around me. And I'm not going to spend my money willy nilly, but I like to spend it on myself when I need to.
I
How
see.
you
I
feel about
like, yeah, because I'm definitely one who I think about like my relationship with my husband because it's ways that I think about me compared to a different person. He's definitely one who is more like, yeah, we can do it, we can buy it, whatever. And I'm like, hold up, but can we though? Like, let's look at the budget. Like, let's,
Yeah.
So I am definitely the one that's more careful with my money and want to make sure, like, yeah, like if we, you know, were kicked out of our apartment, like, do we have money to like get in somewhere else, or we like, I want to make sure we have a little bit of something to make sure we don't just like starve. So,
Yeah.
so I feel that. I don't, did you say the word miser? I don't like that.
Yes. It's the one who just is the money pincher, the person who likes to save money.
I mean, yes, I just don't like the word. I'm like, aw. But yes, I'm definitely more the saver than the spender, 100%.
Yeah,
So
and it's
I,
like again, it's more about protection. It's making sure that you have safety and like a home and somewhere to be is really what
yes,
it's based on. So then once you feel safe beyond that, then the rest of your spendings are like, I want everyone around me and me to feel comfortable and happy and good. So that's where your money spending goes.
yes,
Let's move
yes,
on, shall we? All
yeah.
right, so let's talk about your outer planets. So your outer planets are more sort of how you interact with the world and the characteristics that you develop throughout your life. So Jupiter is all about expansion and grace and luck. It's the biggest planet, so just think big and belief and all that stuff. It's in Libra, which Libra is all about harmony and charm, and it's in the fifth house, which is about self-expression and creativity. You gonna like this one. So this archetype is the superstar. So I wrote
Yes,
gentle and charming,
yes.
very graceful, attracted to culture and rare or luxurious lifestyles, activist who wants
Oh,
fairness for all people, peacekeeper in
yes.
all situations, may accidentally overspend in search of beautiful things, which we just talked about, lucky and popular, and inclined to
Yes.
become famous, free spirited and great with children. She said, Miss
Yes.
Libra, the when I by the way, Sean, when I think of Libra, I think of you now.
We
And
stand a
Olivia, but
Libra. Yes. Oh my gosh.
anyway, so what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, it cut out a
If
little
you
bit,
have
but I'm so excited about this part. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm cutting out.
you are, but go
Oh, can
ahead.
you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
No, I mean that like living for that, living.
Yeah.
Yes,
So was I.
superstar. Yes, popular. Yes, you like all these. I can't even remember all of them because I was just like, yes, yes. Like if
Living,
I,
living.
we'll go back and look at this playback, and you'll just see. I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I
Beautiful.
love it because it's a lot of them are very positive, but they make sense for you, like very graceful. Like, come on, dancer,
Yes,
gentle and charming. Like, that's what you're known for, is being gentle and charming.
yes. I'm not
Um,
aggressive, but I'm like, just
no,
here, my friend.
yeah,
Yes.
lucky and popular. I don't know if you're lucky. I don't know how you feel about your luck in life, but hey, it says you're lucky.
I mean, I feel like I have a luck. I don't know. I mean, I'm very fortunate to. I don't know. I'm like looking at people, you know, people have it really shitty right now. So I'm very thankful that I'm not in that position. So not
Yeah,
necessarily luck of like big fortune, but I definitely think,
yeah, it's a
you
good way
know,
to look at it. I like that.
yeah,
I did
yeah.
like this whole section about may accidentally overspend in search of beautiful things, which kind of what we just talked about. Once you have sort of the stable base and you have security and safety, your then next action will be let me spend my money to make everyone feel comfortable and happy. So that could be sort of a downfall for you is that like I spent money because I knew we were safe, but I spent too much money because I thought all this stuff was beautiful and lovely and gorgeous and made us all feel happy. That
Kind of.
could be you. I don't know. I don't know if that is you, but it connected with your
Yeah.
last one.
Well, I'm trying to think of what that would be for me, but it's more so like you were saying about spending money on something for an enjoyment of a group
Yeah,
for sure. Like I feel like I relate more to that for sure. It's like I'm always trying to have a good time with my people. So like yeah, we might spend money and be like, wow, I didn't realize how much I spent on that. But you know what?
yeah, very
It
that,
it
very that,
happened. Yeah,
very
for
that.
sure.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to your Saturn. Saturn is actually your ruling planet for Capricorn. So let's see what she does for you.
Yeah, what she
Saturn is
do?
discipline and work ethic. I
Uh-huh.
call it like the task planet, the to-do list planet.
Oh,
Is
I
in
love a to-do
Aquarius,
list.
right? Is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is all about community, knowledge, and personal hopes and dreams. And it's in the
Ooh,
ninth house, which is my house, focused
yes,
on
your house.
expansion and belief. So this one, you had mentioned this earlier that you weren't like philosophy driven, but the archetype I wrote for this was the philosopher. So let me read what I got for you. Dedicated to
Okay.
learning and expanding their mind, great
Hmm.
student, religious or spiritual, and feel a need to connect with God or a higher power, desire life and travel to experience everything life has to offer. Good at inventing original ideas. So the first part I want to talk about, which is learning and expanding their minds and being a great student.
Yes.
You were always that when
Yeah.
I knew you growing up. So
Yes,
I
100%. I
don't know.
think out of everything you just said, that's the chunk that I like relate to most. 100%. I'm always like,
Right.
I've become very aware of like, there's still so many things that I don't know, you know, and things that I want to learn and learn from other people. So I for
Yeah.
sure relate to that.
And I like that it connected to this last part, which is desire for life and travel in order to experience everything that life has to offer. So it's this idea that you want to expand your knowledge by like actually doing things and being around the people that know things. So I thought
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. I don't know if you
Yeah.
feel the same way.
No, I feel that 100%. I would love to experience things to take it in, you know, and learn by doing, for sure.
Yeah.
So, yes
Good
to
at
that.
inventing original ideas. How do you feel about that? Are you an original?
I like, to be honest, I mean, when you said that, that made me think of what I was talking about earlier, where I'm more the person who, like, bring me the ideas and I will do the planning. Like, I will help put it.
Yeah, I mean, and that could also be what they're talking about too. Yeah, that could be it too, because it could be that you're not inventing the origin, but maybe you're inventing the original way to do it, or some, you're very
You're very. we're getting,
Yes,
I love
I
it.
like
Technology,
heard the
everybody.
come
sound in
on,
the
Wi-Fi.
video. The I know, I'm so sorry, but I
No, you're
like,
fine. Can you hear me now?
but
Okay, so what is your thought about that? Maybe using not necessarily inventing the original idea, but you're the one that's going to be really ingenuitive, like figure out how to do it with what we've got, and you may figure out new ways to do things. I feel like that might be sort of what it's hinting at as well.
yes, for sure, like a resourcefulness. I feel like I'm a very resourceful person. I'm seeing some hearts, so yes.
Yeah, that's good. The one I think we we might have skipped over a little bit was religious or spiritual and feel a need to connect with God or a higher power. We don't have to talk
Yeah,
about it too much, but how do you feel about that?
yeah, we don't have to get into it. I mean, like, I went to youth group when I was younger, and like, I it's just something where as I've grown older, I met more people and you know, met people with different beliefs. I'm like, yes, I believe there is a higher power, but I'm not as like, I haven't been as dedicated to like focusing my life on that as much.
Yeah.
So
And it could be
yeah,
something that happens later in your life. Who knows?
right, for sure.
Cool. So let's move on to your next planet, which is Uranus. Uranus is
Yeah.
all about personal liberties and boundaries and sort of a unique perspective. In Capricorn, your next couple are in Capricorn. So Capricorn is all about discipline and perseverance. And the eighth house, again, it's focused on mystery and healing. So this archetype that I
Oh,
wrote down, which you might find very fun and interesting as well, is the fandom. So let me read this one to you. Crafty and creative, dedicated to finding truth and meaning in everything, keeps things close to the chest, and may conceal their own truth from others. She said, okay, do you need me to start again?
okay. Yeah. Hold up. Say it again. Hold up. You
Say it
said the
again.
fandom.
Say it. Say it again. Yeah, the fandom.
Well, okay, because you said fandom, I was like, in many fandoms, I believe.
Right.
So
That's why I
describe it
said
again,
it's
though.
very, it's long, so get ready, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So this is crafty and creative, dedicated to finding truth and meaning in everything, keeps things close to the chest and may conceal their own truth from others, may make decisions or changes without letting others catch up to them, impulsive and ever changing, interested in magic and the occult, and will be prone to obsess to the point of fandom or tribe association, familiar with tragedy and inconsistency, leading them to be free spirited and detached. So let's go by it one by one. So creative and crafty and dedicated to finding truth and meaning. Do you feel
Yeah.
like that kind of resonates with you?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel that.
Keeps things close to the chest and may conceal their own truth from others and may make decisions or changes without letting others catch up to them. So this was kind of talk. I tried to put it in shorter words, but this is basically like somebody who is a little more of an observer and kind of is always thinking about them, like how can I be a different or better person, and then may like act on that without having discussed it with anybody, and then other people might be like, wait a minute, weren't you this way like when I last met you? And you're like, oh, but it's better for me to be a different way or something. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, I I would say I don't typically make many decisions without others knowing. Like, I'm not one to kind of keep decisions to myself and people are shocked by what happens. I don't think I'm necessarily that. Um, so I don't know. That one's an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, think about it. The way I looked at it was kind of like somebody who is thinking about their life and is thinking, maybe I kind of want to be this person. Say like I would like to be healthier. So then you
Hmm.
personally just start making healthier choices, and then other people are like, wait, I thought you liked eating cookies, and you're like, oh, yeah, but I decided I wanted to eat healthier, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I see that a little more. That seems a
It's
little
like
more reasonable.
personal, yeah, because remember, this is all about personal liberties and boundaries. So this is like personal changes about yourself that you're like, I know I can do this. I want to do this. So you're not the
Hmm.
kind of person that's going to go, hey, I was thinking about, going healthier. What are your thoughts about that? You're just going to do it.
Uh, I see. Yes. There are some like kind of things that are just really going to affect me. I'm not necessarily like taking everyone's opinions on it. It's like, no, I this is the way I want to go and I'm trying it out for myself. So
Yeah.
I see that. Yes, that makes more sense.
And this is what it means by like, excuse me, I got too much ice in the last cup.
How dare you? You are such a mess compared to me, Jamie.
I know, how dare I? So this is kind of what it means by impulsive and ever changing, is that it is somebody who wants to. That's what like the eighth house is all about healing. You're the kind of person that like is all about healing and becoming better and just being a better version of yourself. So you will make those decisions without too much thought. You're just gonna do it and see how it ends up, kind of thing. Thoughts?
I was
Did I lose you
mention.
again?
Oh,
You look very clear.
she back. She back. I'm back, right?
She back. That's what
Um,
this episode is called. She
okay.
back.
we're gonna have to do a redo. Like on the way here.
Well, then let's just move forward.
Anyway.
I don't want to get hung up too long on this, but yeah, I thought this one was very interesting.
Yeah.
Interested in magic and the occult. That's very, back to the Harry Potter thing. I mean, it's very that.
Fandom.
Familiar with tragedy and
Service had just gotten better, and then it
to
got
be
worse.
Free-spirited and detached.
So the thing about Uranus and Neptune and Pluto is that they really represent a generation of people. So they're like everyone born like in the time period that you were born has this
Same planet and same position.
So the people that were born around your time are familiar with like this explains like a lot of us. So I don't know. I find it very interesting and maybe something that we can think about more into the future. Yeah.
Thing to think of. Oh,
yes.
It's pausing again. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Well,
Let's move on.
We are almost done.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to send you all this too, so we can have further conversation about this later. But just for the content, that way everyone can get it. Moving on, so your Neptune. Neptune is all about dreams and possibilities and sort of your expectations of the world around you. It's in Capricorn. Again, it's all about discipline and perseverance in the 8th house, all about mystery and healing. This might be a weird word for the archetype, but it was the only thing I could think of, which is the irresponsible, which is very interesting because it's the opposite of your sun sign.
Right.
But hear me out. So imaginative and creative when it comes to life paths and career decisions. Delusional about everything working in their favor, and don't accept no very easily. Wants to lead in situations in which they know best or feel they have the best ideas. Believes in a utopia and may dismiss others whose contributions detract from that. Again, overspenders. Again, they may trust their money with someone else so they don't have to worry about losing it all. This is where the irresponsible came in for me. They're the kind of person that's like, you deal with it so that, because I know I'm not going to be very good with it, so like you hold it. Attracted to magic and mystery and expect everyone to have the qualities they need or want them to have. So the Neptune, you're the kind of person that this is my idea, and I know that this idea will be the best for me and everyone else around us. And if you don't contribute to that, then I don't want to be near you. Like if you don't believe that we can make it and we're going to do well and be perfect together, then you need to leave. I don't want that. That's what I get from this.
Yeah.
And you're also the person who's like, I know what we're doing. We all have a good idea. Look, here's my money. Please hold on to it. I'm going to lose it, but we're going to spend it later. Okay, let's go. You're like, you're going to Six Flags with everybody. You're in the lead. You're like, we're going to go do this ride. Hold my money in your little pouch because I'm going to lose it. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, wait. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, apparently I'm about to lose you big time because now there's some hills. But
Great.
yes to this. But yes to this whole, like, listen, if I know I've thought of the good plan, then I got the good plan and let's go. And we should all just, yes. I'm like,
love that. Well, I'm going to keep going though. So just in case I do lose you, you can watch it and I'll keep going. We're about to lose Miss Shae according to some hills that they're driving through because, we planned this so well. This will be so fun to watch when I put it on the internet.
Oh my God, I'm a mess. I owe you a redo. This was.
Let's keep going, so because we have a couple left, and I don't want to go too past an hour. So your last planet is Pluto, still considered a planet according to astrology. Is all about rebirth and emotion. Is in Scorpio, which is mystery and healing again. You have a lot of this mystery and healing thing going on through your chart, which I think is fun. Is in the 6th house, which is all about health and responsibility. So this, again, it describes a group of people because it's Pluto. So the millennial, hello, we all have the Pluto and Scorpio in this thing. It's all of us do. So this is the workaholic who is afraid of criticism, driven by the desire to change themselves and become meaningful to society. Business owners and freelancers so as to not work under someone else or to dictate or have someone else dictate how they work. Self-loathing and quick to blame themselves. find solace in sadness or darkness, and are well equipped to handle tragedy, destined to reform and change the world around them. So again, explains like all of us millennials. We all have sort of a dark side of humor that we think is hilarious and other people don't. Well equipped to handle tragedy, I think, is interesting because I know a lot of us at this age are kind of like we kind of know how to push through sad situations. For some reason, I don't know if we've all been hurt in the past. I don't know. But is the destined to reform and change the world around them, which I think is very interesting. It's just kind of part of our generation. So I don't know. Feel that. And if you do get some service and can jump in, go ahead and jump in and see what you feel about that, Shae. Shalandra Wilkinson, if you will. Lovely. What a great anecdote you just gave. So let's move on to your Lilith. Lilith is the dark side of the moon. She's actually like a person, or not. She's like a being, Lilith. But it's your dark or repressed characteristics in nature. Is influenced by Pisces, which is karma and rebirth, in the 10th house, which is legacy and status. This is the scapegoat. You might not like this one, so hopefully you lose some service while I read you this one. She's headstrong and independent, which we love. Society or the public will dismiss them for not conforming.
What? What?
Just as I'm talking, it's I love it. I think what happens is your audio is catching up, and then it's like.
Oh, well, that looks great. Awesome.
Hey, but did you make it through those hills? Because you're very clear now.
Oh, am I? I mean, the big hills are behind us, so.
Oh, you got another one coming, I see. So.
We'll go for it. We'll just keep going.
Okay, let me finish reading. So, society or the public will dismiss them for not conforming when it goes against their morals or beliefs. Refusal to accept injustices or the norm plagues their emotional spirit. So the way that everything described this was that this is the kind of person, you were the kind of person who has beliefs and is like, they described it a lot too as far as actresses. They were like actresses who are asked to do like a nude scene or something that like, or do drugs or something that's scandalous. And you'll be the kind of person that's like, no, unfortunately I don't do that. And then instead of being like, wow, she's this great person with morals and beliefs, they're going to be the kind of people that will say she's hard to work with, she's a diva, like, and then everyone's going to smite her, even though she's like just standing up for what she knows is right. So with Lilith comes your karmic duty, or like what you should do in life, which is to accept themselves and trust their instincts.
Okay.
So, you know what's right, and don't let the haters get you down, basically.
Right, or don't let the people in my hometown who might have different beliefs than me and some justices and shit bring me down. Yeah. That's
actually a really good connection there. I didn't even take that one, so I like that you were able to, because some of them get so weird, and you're just like, how does that even connect? But
right.
When you can find that connection, it's great.
Yeah, I feel that.
Your last one, are you ready?
I'm ready.
So your North Node, which is your underdeveloped characteristics, is in Sagittarius. Finally, something in Sagittarius.
What's up, Sagittarius? Yes.
It's in the 6th house, which is all about health and responsibilities. So your underdeveloped characteristics of expansion and belief focused on health and responsibility. So this I wrote as the rule follower, driven by reality in their own thoughts and physical health. Needs to learn how to have a more open mind and know there is more than just what you know. So this is kind of makes sense with your chart, because your chart is sort of all about your personal beliefs and how you want to be safe and your thoughts and expanding your mind and expanding your safety and everything like that. This is kind of saying you may focus so much on that part of your life that you may miss out on sort of opportunities to go down different paths or explore different things, because you'd rather stick with what you know, and what you know is true and safe. So maybe sort of in places where you are willing to take a risk, take a little bit more of a risk.
I can see that. I can see that for sure. I'm definitely less of the risk taker and more of the like, no, I'm going to make sure I know what I'm doing and like have a plan and go for it. So I can see that.
Right.
100%.
Awesome. Well, that was your chart. I do want to do one last thing, which is sort of go over all your archetypes and talk about sort of your spirit and your overall meaning to the chart. So
Yes.
we've got your active archetypes, which are the protege, the
Mm-hmm.
talker, the soulmate, the miser, and the fandom.
Okay, yes
So
to all that, even though I don't like the word miser, but I get it. I am a money saver, so okay.
and then you have your passive qualities, which are the thespian, the soulmate, the inheritance, the superstar, the
Yes,
philosopher, again, the irresponsible, but I couldn't think of a real word for it, the
right.
millennial, the scapegoat, and the rule follower. So
Okay.
when we think about all that together, again, I've come up with two sort of axes of who people are. And that comes with your focus and your
Mhm.
core. So focus is sort of where your focus is in life. It's either internal or external. Through all of yours,
Okay.
I've kind of, you're leaning more internal to me. Your focus is inside out. What do I know? What do I believe? How do I be the most safe, secure, and happy? And
Mhm.
I'll move forward that way.
Mhm.
Um, so I feel like your focus is internal.
Okay.
And then you have your core, which is sort of, I kind of describe it as like where your spirit is.
Mhm.
Is it centered and you find it difficult to explore outside of your center?
Mhm.
Or are you sort of on the extremes and you're finding it difficult to find a center? So there's
Oh.
sort of static, which is centered and hard to explore. And then there's dynamic, which is all explorative and, all the way out here, but it's hard to find a center. So
Uh-huh.
your core, I feel, is very static. So
Okay.
you are centered, you trust yourself and you
Mhm.
have a belief system and you might find it difficult to try new things or to explore outside of what you know to be true.
I
So
see.
the
Mhm.
person who is internal and static, if we can kind of imagine a person that looks like that,
Uh-huh.
um, the way I describe who you might be to the world, and this is where this people really like this description. It seems to describe them very well. Is a wise and dedicated person destined for greatness and success, but burdened by the weight of the world on your shoulders. And I wrote most likely to succeed.
Ah,
So, how do you feel about that?
100%. I feel that of like, especially now being, I mean, like being so career driven and focused on like, no, this is what, and like with everything going on, seeing like what voice do I want to be to the world,
Yeah.
and like and really,
Hmm.
yeah, the thought of it weighs on my mind, but it's the focus. Oh, I got more hills coming, but I was feeling that. I hope
I
I'm
know it
still
was
good.
good. We got most of it, so we're good.
Okay, yes.
Um, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, we've got under the hour, which is sort of the goal. But here's your
Yes,
chart. So I will at some point try and get this in a nice digital form to you, so you can have it.
I would
But I
love
just want
that.
to thank you for coming. I'm sorry for taking you away from this journey that you're on. I love that journey
No,
for
I
you.
love that journey for you. I thought I would be further, like closer to the city by this point.
Um,
Was my original plan. That's why I was like, the timing will be fine. And now I'm like, oh shit, we're in these hills. Like, I like I'm gonna talk to you just to talk to you more about a lot of this. And I
yeah,
also have
absolutely.
friends. I have friends who like want you to do their birth charts too. Um,
Please. Did I
I
tell you
like,
that Olivia reached out to me and then I read her friend's birth chart that I've never met in my life? And her friend was like, "You got me 1000%. I'm terrified."
ah,
I
yes.
was like, "Hi, nice to meet you."
Yes, you have a gift. You have a gift. But yes, I want to like talk to you more about this. And then just
Please.
content wise, I feel like I owe you a better episode with better connection.
Well,
Just
next time you're safe and in town, or next time I'm safe and in your town, we
yes,
will, we'll 6 feet apart and
we'll do a nice
do another
live,
reading.
yes, in person reading. Okay, I love that. I love that. But this was very on point, and I feel this, and I'm gonna let it soak. I'm gonna let it soak and think about it, and then I'm gonna talk to you and be like, okay, but what's all this though? So yes.
Yeah, maybe you go take a soak so that everything can soak,
Hmm.
and then we'll discuss later.
Oh, love it. Also,
But
wait,
yeah,
do you know how to save this? I feel like there were comments, but then I didn't get to see them all because. internet.
Because of everything.
Yeah.
Most of the comments, I mean, at the beginning, were like, "Girl, she choppy. We can't read her."
How dare
More service. We have a lot of people that stand a Libra, Gemini. We love them. Thank God.
Thank
People
God.
waving. Just a lot of waves. A lot of people
Yeah.
saying hello. So, you know,
Love.
we can get, hopefully people will comment on the video if they have any questions or anything that they need to clarify some more. But I think we did a good job for what we had, and I love your chart. It's
Yes.
very cool.
It is very cool. I'm excited to look at it more. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully all my writing makes sense to you.
It should. I'm used to your writing. We'll see.
Well, I mean, I'm going to type it, but I meant like the words.
Oh, yeah. I think it. We'll see. I'm a quick learner, you know what I mean? So.
You are a quick learner. Well, I just want to thank you for being on Bachelor Charts episode 4 already.
Yes.
Just a 4. Yes, I am number 4. Did you ever see that movie?
No. I might have.
Yeah, it was very your kind of movie back in the day.
Back in the day. I got different kinds of movies now, though.
But yeah, we're about to hit that hour before it kicks us off. So, do you want to say anything before we have to leave?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I will apologize for the 50th time for having terrible service. Thank you for dealing with me. You run the show, so you kept it going. Yes. But thank you so much for putting in all this work and doing my birth chart.
Yeah,
I'm excited to look at it.
Everyone's always impressed by the fact that it's like 7 pages, and I'm like, it's just because I don't want to do work at work.
I love it. Thank you so much for reading my chart. I'm excited to talk about it more and to see your future episodes.
Yes, please do. Everyone check out my YouTube channel. Link in the bio. You can see all the old videos and just really also old videos that are on there. That Shae is in one of them. So
we built a tent drunk, so.
Ooh,
yep. Ooh.
Yeah, forever non-problematic content creators. We live. But thank you guys for watching, whoever got to stop by and whoever's watching this later. I will see you guys next time. Thank you, Shae. I love you very much.
Yes, love you.
Get home
Thank
safe.
you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.